What up, gamers? Fencer here, and welcome to my reaction to the Cocoa Puffs conspiracy theory by Alex Bale. So yeah, it's been a while once again since I've done a reaction like this, where I react to other content creators' content, and I'm slowly getting back into it. Like I said before, back into Blue's Clues reaction, and I think I'm getting closer to now, doing more of this, just because I am like finishing up some games that I wanted to finish, and so yeah, I feel like soon I'll be doing more of this. But for now, maybe in a few weeks that's when I'll maybe do it. Yeah, for now, still gonna be a lot of games. Anyways, yeah, as for like my knowledge of the Cocoa Puff stuffs, I mean, yeah, I know their cereal. I've known them for a while because I used to watch their commercials back in the day. And normally I wouldn't react to conspiracies or theories like this, like with this video here, if I don't know much about the content of like the topic that's being discussed. Um, that's why I skipped out on the Avatar theory by Alex, because I did not know much about Avatar, so I thought I would not really appreciate it, and also for spoiler reasons as well. But with Cocoa Puffs, I mean, they're just cereal, and I know the story for the most part from the commercials, which is just this bird going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so I don't know how much story that you can get from there. But apparently, Alex has made it happen, so yeah, we'll see how he's able to make a theory out of this from like just, for my knowledge, like just commercials. Like I'm not sure. Yeah, there's probably like maybe some cereal boxes where they might give some lore on why he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, maybe. But anyways, here we go, guys. Let's go and watch. I haven't watched this in a while, like the commercials. I remember just watching this, like seeing this on the commercials back then on TV.
I've always thought there was something strange about Cocoa Puff commercials.
I mean, yeah,
Kids
that's
cereal
pretty much a mystery.
commercials
Why
are
is he
pretty
cooking for Cocoa Puffs?
straightforward. There's a fun, wacky mascot character who wants a certain type of cereal and has to overcome some kind of obstacle to get it.
Oh shoot, I forgot about the leprechaun.
It's pretty basic stuff. But the thing that's strange about
Never
Cocoa
thought about
Puff
that, how much
commercials
there is.
that Sonny the Cuckoo Bird isn't trying to get the cereal, he's actively trying to avoid it.
Yeah, never realized that, if that is the case.
If you think about it, Sonny is kind of a struggling addict who's desperately trying not to relapse, but fails every time and ends up destroying whatever building he's in and terrifying the people around him.
Yeah, so like, going into Alex Bale's, stuff, like, I have to think like Alex Bale, so just even from the few seconds from that intro, like, okay, yeah, there's definitely something going on. And when he mentioned about like how the other characters, like, they're trying to go after the cereal, that's when I thought like, okay, if we're thinking about that beginning part where he puts it in a safe, then yeah, it looks like he's trying to break away from it, unlike the other cereal mascots.
Can't control myself. I'm going Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa
It's like he
Puffs
knows,
are
or
literally
maybe,
ruining his life.
yeah, he's just trying to not be addicted to it, or like maybe just break away from like, what the other cereal mascots are trying to be like.
And I think it's kind of weird that that's how General Mills
there might be something
chose
like
to
dark
advertise
secret.
their cereal for children. But whatever. These are just silly 30-second kids commercials that are all
Yeah.
essentially the same. There's no plot or world building. There couldn't possibly be anything here worth theorizing about.
Yeah, pretty much that's what I thought, man. Like I said, like, how is Alex gonna make a theory off of this? But after discussing that beginning part, I think we can. There's actually maybe something there that you can go off of.
Right?
At least it'll be like a theory
What if I
topic.
told you that beneath the surface of these colorful cereal advertisements is one of the most dark and complex underlying narratives I have
Jeez.
ever seen in a piece of media? A hidden
Bird
story
military.
of addiction, war, betrayal, and a massive conspiracy about the world Sonny lives in that no one has discovered before today. I promise you
And this
that
is an
after this,
insane
you will
graphic.
never be able
Like, this whole thing, like, wow.
to watch a Cocoa Puff
Like,
commercial the same way again. This is
I'm just wondering
the
how he made
Cocoa
this.
Puffs
Like, did he actually?
conspiracy.
I mean, I'm guessing in Photoshop, but it just looks so real. It's so detailed, man. Just for like this.
Oh no, I've been
Then
in
he
a
goes
car
back to, like,
accident.
And then he goes to like a cheap graphic where you can see like the blue screen. He went from okay.
I should call my lawyer.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
Hi,
Oh
John Morgan
snap,
of Morgan
dude.
and Morgan. It's Alex Bale of YouTube.
You got Morgan and Morgan.
Can I have money, please?
Morgan & Morgan & Morgan & Morgan & Morgan & Morgan & Morgan.
Jeez, I don't know if it was from
Morgan,
Alex,
you know your injury could be worth
but I feel like I've seen,
millions
you
of
know,
dollars? Morgan and Morgan is the
a
biggest
few
injury law
YouTubers
firm
having
in America,
sponsorships from
and they've
lawyers.
recovered over
I like
$20
rarely see
billion
it, you
for
know.
their clients. $20 billion.
Like
That's
normally
a
it
lot
would
of
be
money.
like whenever I
The
see
insurance
sponsorships on
companies tried
YouTube,
to lowball me, but
it would be
Morgan
for
and
like
Morgan was
food or
able to
something,
take
something
my
like
pain
a
and
convenience
suffering and turn
thing,
it into all
but
this
never like
money.
at a level
It's
of like a
almost
bank or
good thing that
lawyer.
I was
Like I know Mr.
But
Beast has like
how much is Morgan and Morgan
sponsorships
gonna
from
cost
banks,
me?
which is
You
pretty
never
big.
owe us legal fees unless we're successful.
They're completely free unless I win? Wait a second. I don't know how to hire a lawyer.
Wait, that's pretty big,
sounds
man.
too hard.
Jeez. I
I'm
don't
just
remember if he
little
had a
baby.
sponsorship
I don't know
by
how
them
to do
before.
that. It's actually super easy, idiot. You can just go to their website and then in a couple clicks, you can find out if you have a case. You can literally do it from your smartphone.
Like I said, I just like how he went from
dummy.
like
And remember, there's only
a very
one
professional
Morgan
graphic of
and
like all
Morgan.
these pins
It's more,
trying to connect the
there's two of
dots.
them, though. Wait, what? You can start your claim today by going to
Then now he's got this,
forthepeople.com/Alex.
obviously
the
blue
link
screen
is also in the description,
ad.
or you could scan the QR code with your,
But that's the charm of
phone
it, too.
camera.
I think that's
unless
what
you're
makes
watching this
YouTubers
on your phone.
look more charming.
In that case, you'll have to use the link in the description. So if you're injured, you can trust Morgan.
Because you know, like it's not like Hollywood and stuff. It's not supposed to be. Hey, there's the blue screen.
Morgan & Morgan & Morgan & Morgan.
But yeah, I love that ad.
Also, this video is not sponsored by Cocoa Puffs or General Mills, and I am not trying to make any claims about the real-life Cocoa Puffs brand. I am just theorizing
Yeah, of
about
course.
fictional lore and commercials for fun and entertainment
I don't think he
purposes.
would be sponsored by
Please
them.
don't sue me, General Mills.
Even like with
Bye.
SpongeBob, I don't think, you know, stuff like that. I don't think it would be sponsored unless he actually makes a claim about it. Because that's
The
like,
very
that's like
first
required by
commercials for
YouTube.
Cocoa Puffs aired in 1958 and originally featured 3 children instead of the iconic
is this really the
Cuckoo bird
original?
as their mascot.
All aboard for the Cocoa Puffs train.
I mean, I've seen, you know, the
It
commercials
wasn't
from
until
before, but
1962 that Sonny made his first appearance
Never
as
this
the
far
bird
back,
who
like,
goes
back in
cuckoo
black and
whenever he
white?
sees Cocoa Puffs.
wow.
Watch out because I'm Cocoa Puff.
This format was
Dang.
very successful, and Sonny has been the mascot for the brand ever since. Since then, he's gone through many redesigns, but the basic premise has always stayed the same. Sometimes he's joined by children, sometimes he's with his grandpa, but he always ends up going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, despite his best efforts to avoid them.
Up here, I won't go cuckoo for my favorite cereal. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It wasn't until 2004 that Sonny got his most iconic redesign that he's still known
Yeah, that's
for
the one I
today.
know
and
him
it's
for.
these commercials that I'm going to be
That's the one I
focusing
used to
on
watch
for this
back
theory.
as a kid.
The more modern Cocoa Puff commercials introduce us to the world that Sonny lives in, a society inhabited by intelligent talking birds.
No chocolatey and vanilla Cocoa Puffs combos, part of this good breakfast.
And it's
Wow.
surprisingly complex for just being the backdrop of kids' cereal commercials. They have their own bird cities, bird airports, bird legal systems, they even have a bird military.
Birds need airports, man. They can't fly, I guess.
Why do the Cocoa Puff commercial birds need a military? Like, who are they fighting? Are there bird wars?
Oh snap, that's a theory
And
right
the
there.
entire bird world
He's probably gonna
seems
bring
to
that
run
in. Why is
on
there a
Cocoa
military?
Puffs. All the grocery stores sell are Cocoa Puffs. If you go to the opera, they're singing about Cocoa Puffs.
This box right here.
Cocoa Puffs.
Even the media seems to be run by Cocoa Puffs.
Extra, extra new chocolatey vanilla
Interesting.
Cocoa Puffs combo cereal.
So obviously,
Yeah, like, you know, if I had to guess, you know, just based on what I've seen so far, I do think maybe he's trying to break away from the program, like whatever. If this whole society is being run by or fueled by Cocoa Puffs, I feel like he's trying to break away from that. Like maybe it's more than just being like an addict, maybe from the Cocoa Puffs. It's just I'm trying to think of like the more, I guess, deeper, I guess, meaning of Alex's theories because I feel like he would always go that far. Like there's actually more than just being an addict. He's actually trying to break away from the program, the I don't know, hypnotic nature of the Cocoa Puffs.
This is a very difficult place for someone trying to beat a Cocoa Puff addiction. No matter what Sunny
Yeah.
does or where he goes, he cannot avoid Cocoa Puffs. He tries to ask people for help, but all they want to do is talk about how great Cocoa Puffs are.
How do I escape the great taste of Cocoa Puffs?
Why would you want to escape it? Cocoa Puffs are
Oh,
crunchy,
snap.
crunchy.
Stop it! Chocolatey!
The only person willing
Hmm. Okay. I'm just wondering if it'll be like another cult thing or something where they kind of like, I don't know, they, I don't know. I'm like getting flashbacks to the Goofy Goobers theory.
to help him is Gramps, his trusted grandpa who's been with him since 1962.
Keep Shelly from going cuckoo. I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room.
Gramps?
I'm not hiding Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs?
Don't go cuckoo on me, boy.
But even with his help, it's not enough. He tries to go to the store, or the opera, or in a plane, or a deserted island, but wherever he goes, Cocoa Puffs is already there.
Whew! Cocoa Puffs!
Sunny even tries to file a restraining order against Cocoa Puffs, but
Cereal?
it doesn't work because apparently they're too delicious.
I'm
My
finding
gosh.
guilty of being delicious.
Sunny is a very tragic
A restraining
character
order
because
against
of just
cereal.
how much Cocoa
Who'da
Puffs
thought?
are an inescapable, fundamental part of this world. But it isn't always like this.
Oh, commercial. It used to be Krispy Kreme donuts. That's what it used to be. All right, let's continue.
Occasionally, there are these weird outlier commercials that show a different side to this world, where we see these little moments where the bird citizens are just as afraid of Cocoa Puffs as Sunny is.
Oh,
The first
snap.
time I noticed this was in a commercial for the new Cocoa Puffs chocolate and vanilla combo
Here we
cereal.
go. Things are getting interesting now.
New chocolatey vanilla Cocoa Puffs combo cereal.
It opens with a newspaper boy announcing the new cereal, but for the first time, people seem kind of disinterested in Cocoa Puffs and just walk past him. And then
Is
the
it really?
commercial takes a very
I mean, I just thought maybe it'll be more of like, you know, you're just having your everyday life. You know, there's like pretty much background. I didn't think much about it.
sudden turn.
When chocolatey and vanilla.
But they're more like, you know, just having
combine,
a
there's no
background.
escape.
Two massive Cocoa Puffs in the sky crash into each other and begin raining down Cocoa Puffs all over the city. The people start screaming and running for their lives as the entire city is consumed by chocolate and vanilla.
Okay. Hmm. I mean, like, if there's a society like being run by Cocoa Puffs, I would imagine that, yeah, they would like that. I'm just wondering if this scene is kind of like before the Cocoa Puffs were, I guess, were founded, and from those meteors from those like 2 meteors or whatever of the giant Cocoa Puffs. Okay, is when they start
But
to craze for
after
it.
Sunny goes cuckoo,
Or
we
crave for
cut
it.
back and see that everyone is now enjoying the cereal.
New chocolatey and vanilla Cocoa Puffs combos. Part of this good breakfast.
Now in bowls every
Yeah, before they were scared,
Something
but when they
has
tried it out.
changed. This is not a world where everyone has always loved Cocoa Puffs.
Okay.
I think that this is a world that has been taken over by Cocoa Puffs. And
Yeah, I can
if
see
you
that.
Don't believe me? We get much more explicit.
If that's, like, supposed to be,
confirmation
like,
of
if there's a
this in the
timeline.
commercial for the new chocolatey explosion puffs.
And that'll be, like,
I've kind of been holding off
something
on
that happens
showing
first.
this one because it is honestly the most insane commercial I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, you are not prepared for what I am about to show you. This
Okay.
commercial takes place inside of the Bird military headquarters, where Sunny, as a Cocoa Puffs expert, discusses the dangers of this new type of Cocoa Puffs that's exploding in people's homes.
I'm warning you, it's more chocolatey.
What do you mean more chocolatey?
Yeah.
Picture chocolatey Cocoa Puffs.
Okay.
Even more chocolatey than that. Ah!
And the military birds look terrified of this and are treating it like a major threat.
Ah!
Extra chocolatey puffs?
Who authorized more chocolatey?
Just how chocolatey is it?
And what happens next is... I can't even describe it to you. You
I guess in this world, just having more chocolate than usual is a really bad thing.
just have to kind of see it for yourself.
Even more chocolatey than that. Ah!
Just how chocolatey is it?
Ooh, Cocoa Puffs. Let's put extra chocolate.
Dude brought it to the military base.
Cocoa Puffs.
Sunny reveals he
What?
secretly brought a box
Yeah.
of the exploding
Okay. He brought it into the military base. That's kind of crazy. It's like just imagine you just like you're trying to explain to the government or I don't know the military or whatever like some higher power the dangers of like this like disease, but then when you try to bring an example in, you actually bring the disease into the into like your presentation and then expose it to like
Explosive
the people you're
Cocoa
trying to
Puffs into
convince.
the meeting with him, essentially a bomb that he launches at the
Yeah, essentially a
military,
bomb.
basically committing Cocoa Puffs domestic terrorism and flooding the entire room with chocolate.
That is crazy.
And afterwards, we see the main
But yeah, like if this was not a theory, I would not think about this. But since we're going to an Alex Bale theory, you know that there's going to be things like in a timeline. I'm guessing that meteor thing happened first, and then later on, this would happen. But yeah, that's kind of crazy when you think about it that way. If you put it into a timeline and all the stuff.
main military guy again, except now he seems to be supporting the
snap.
cereal,
Limited time only.
and even his military stars have been replaced with Cocoa Puffs.
Oh,
Sonny
snap.
has essentially performed a coup and used Cocoa Puffs to take over the bird military. These commercials are not about trying to sell cereal to kids. They're about the
Yeah, he's got the
hostile
shirt on of
takeover
the
of
original
bird
design.
world from within. But why is Sonny doing this? I thought he was just some guy trying to escape his addiction.
You gotta keep Cocoa Puffs away from me!
I mean,
Why is he
I think he is trying to escape his addiction. It's just sometimes he can't help it. I think that's what I think.
Suddenly a sleeper agent
just can't
working
help
for
it.
Cocoa Puffs in this commercial, and who is
He could be,
really
yeah,
behind
a
this
sleeper agent.
takeover?
So, at this point, you might be thinking that these are all just a bunch of random, incoherent, one off commercials with no continuity or
I mean, yeah, I think for me, yeah, definitely. But since he made it into a theory, I feel like now there's definitely something more going on.
logic behind the things happening. You know, they're just a bunch of wacky, random skits made to sell cereal to kids, and we shouldn't really try to understand them. And you'd probably be right.
I mean, that's what
until
I feel like I gave the same example for SpongeBob. But now there's something more.
They released a single commercial that fundamentally changed everything we thought we knew about this world.
Is that a
In
3D?
fact, this commercial gives us so much new evidence that it is the entire reason I decided to make this theory.
Oh snap! Here
Let's
we
take a
go.
look.
Let's see the entire reason.
Cocoa Puffs experiment. How long does it take Sunny to go cuckoo for?
Cocoa Puffs?
Immediately, this commercial looks and feels very different than the others.
Yeah, it's
Instead
more-
of a bird city, we're inside of a very advanced looking laboratory where Sunny is apparently being experimented on with Cocoa Puffs.
Begin countdown now.
Okay.
So chocolatey! I'm Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs! Cocoa for
4 seconds.
As expected, Sunny goes cuckoo and destroys the lab, but in the final moments of the commercial, we pull back to see who's really running the show.
Oh snap!
Humans. Humans
Oh,
are the ones
snap, I've-
behind this experiment.
Never seen this before. Well, I guess maybe you can say you see it before because yeah, in the original one, right? It was humans. Yeah, there. See? Okay. So humans are not new. But like later on, I guess with Alex, he said that when it comes to the more modern ones, they introduced like this world of like birds running a city. Oh snap!
This world that
So, yeah,
we
humans
thought
are not
was
new, it's
only
just,
inhabited by
I guess now to the
intelligent bird
lore they're
people
being
also
introduced.
has humans in it. And now, with this context, we can finally start to put all the pieces together.
But yeah, if I had to guess, humans. I mean, I don't know. They could be just doing experiments. They maybe they launched those 2 big Cocoa Puffs on purpose. Like that's no accident. It's no like random meteor. Human war. Okay, he's gonna explain the military now and their presence and why there
Okay, if
there needs
there's
to
one
be a
AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope
military.
tech from Wix.
All right. Skip.
So
need Wix right now?
here is my theory. This is a world where advanced intelligent humans and bird people separately coexist as global superpowers. And I believe humans are the ones who created the Cocoa Puffs. I think we can assume this because we can see humans are running a lab that is clearly making and testing Cocoa Puffs. We can even see the chemical structure for Cocoa Puffs on the monitor. So that means that humans are responsible for giving Cocoa Puffs to bird society. And clearly their intentions are far beyond just diplomatic trade.
Okay. And I'm guessing, yeah, because of the military, they don't seem to like that, so I'm guessing that's why there's been a war with the humans. But eventually, I'm guessing the humans won, since the whole society now is being run by Cocoa Puffs.
Remember what they were testing for.
How long does it take Sunny to go cuckoo for
Cocoa Puffs?
How long does it take Sunny to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? They are specifically testing how addictive the cereal is, meaning humans are intentionally trying to create the most addictive product they can. In the world of these commercials, Cocoa Puffs are not just a delicious breakfast item. They are a weapon created by humans to brainwash and control an enemy nation's population.
Brainwash.
The fictional in-universe cereal is what I mean, not the real-life Cocoa Puffs. Please don't sue me, General Mills.
We are witnessing an interspecies war between humans and birds, where humans are launching giant Cocoa Puffs at the cities and planting sleeper agents inside of the military.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, yeah, they're trying to make the, like I said, the most addictive cereal, even to points of brainwashing them. But first, you know, I guess they need to develop it and also experiment with it. And the birds are the test subjects, I guess. And then later on, the humans. That's what I'm guessing.
Why is this inside of a cereal commercial? So, these commercials are telling the story of this global Cocoa Puffs war. But I think they're telling it out of order, and this lab commercial
I
is
agree.
at the start of the timeline, showing us the creation of...
I mean, I can see that. I thought the meteor thing would be the beginning of it. But okay,
Cocoa Puffs.
let's see the timeline.
The humans use Sunny as a guinea pig to create an extremely
And then, you know, later on it
addictive
would be the
cereal,
military.
and they even made him the mascot on the box to help sell it to other birds. But why would
you know what?
Sunny
That
go
is
along
true. I
with
never
this?
thought about that. Like, I felt like I want to see that earlier. I think around the point where I forgot. I think it was the kid when he was advertising it, because you know Sunny was there. But like, I thought it was just more of like just having an image for the cereal.
Well, he doesn't exactly have a choice. Like everyone else, he's just a victim being controlled by the addictive, brainwashing properties of Cocoa Puffs. All they have to do to activate his programming is just say his 3 trigger words. Munchy, crunchy, chocolatey, and he goes.
Exactly, man. Like, dude, when he said trigger words, I immediately thought of the Winter Soldier. That is exactly what I thought. And then yeah, just Alex brings up the Winter Soldier, like, yeah.
Cuckoo.
Dang, I can see that, man. So yeah, he's an experiment at first, and then when he earlier mentioned sleeper agent and also trigger words, that's when I thought like, okay, it does kind of feel like the Winter Soldier. And yeah, if you don't know who this is, pretty much this guy was brainwashed. But like when specific words are said, he'll like go pretty much cuckoo for something very bad that he'll do.
Cocoa Puffs.
Why don't we discuss your home? Your real home.
More Winter Soldier stuff. Dude, this is crazy. This is a crazy edit.
Crunchy. Chocolatey and
So
that's a crazy edit, man.
He is the human's perfect sleeper agent, and believe it or not, this has all actually been foreshadowed since the very first Cocoa Puff commercials. Remember how I said the original 1958 commercials only featured children instead of a bird?
Yeah, it was like just humans
well,
only.
That wasn't entirely true.
All aboard for the Cocoa Puffs.
Oh look, there's a bird right there. Yeah.
In the kid's home, we can see a cage holding a bird. From the very start, Sunny has always been a prisoner to humans. And even the 70s commercials show us that it was humans who first got Sunny addicted.
Puff, puff, Cocoa Puffs, chocolate tasting Cocoa Puffs,
Man.
munchy, crunchy, chocolatey.
Okay, so I'm guessing Sunny was raised in a human society, but there's also like this bird society. And you know, I'm guessing the humans are not welcome to the bird society, so they if they want to take over the birds, they would just have it, you know, brainwash him, put him into the bird place, and then, you know, activate him as a sleeper agent, pretty much. Oh no, where did I go? I went all the way back. I'll go, yeah, from here,
Sunny has always
or go here.
children instead of a bird. Well, that wasn't entirely true.
Yeah, there's the bird right there.
Cocoa Puffs train.
That's kind of crazy, and like
In the kid's home, we can see a
Just see that
cage
small detail.
holding a bird. From the very start, Sunny has always been a prisoner to humans. And even the 70s commercials show us that it was humans who first got Sunny addicted.
Puff, puff,
Man.
Cocoa Puffs, chocolate tasting Cocoa Puffs, munchy, crunchy, chocolatey. Cocoa Puffs, yahoo!
And if you're still not convinced that this is an intentional hidden narrative inside of these commercials, then let me ask you this. Why did they choose to make the mascot of their cereal a cuckoo bird? Sure, it's partially because cuckoo sounds like cuckoo, but I think there's a deeper reason. What are cuckoo birds? They're brood parasites.
Is that real?
Instead of raising their young, they secretly lay their eggs
I
into
thought-
the nest of other birds.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize that was a real bird. I thought it's more like, you know, what they say, like, you know, when an owl hoots. Okay.
And once the baby cuckoo hatches, they proceed to kill the other birds and take
Oh
over
wait,
the
no.
nest.
Okay. No, I remember seeing this video here, like a bunch of times on Twitter or X, or like they would, like, whenever they're born, they would try to, you know, eliminate all the other eggs. Okay. Okay, I guess I've seen them before. Okay, I just kind of forgot about it, I guess.
From within.
The cuckoo
Yeah.
chick instinctively pushes out any
I don't think I
other
realized they were
eggs
called
in the nest.
like
They are
cuckoo
literally
or
the
cuckoo.
sleeper agents of birds. This is exactly what's happening in these commercials. Humans secretly inserted Sunny into bird society and
Yeah.
he took it over from within, just like a cuckoo bird. And the humans didn't just randomly insert Sunny into any
It's
old
kinda crazy,
nest.
like-
Take a look
I'm just wondering if they really thought about this, like, ahead of time, just like, I don't know, like, how far back? Maybe from the very beginning, from the first commercial, or like, do you think they started to make this whole lore, if you know that is the intention, like around the modern times, with, you know, around, you know, this era over here? Hmm.
at the commercial where we see Sunny's grandpa's house.
I keep Sally from going cuckoo. I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room. Perhaps?
They're in a hallway full of what I assume are family photos. And if you look closely, you can see a
Oh,
picture
snap.
of the main military bird. The humans inserted Sunny into a family with a high-ranking military officer, which allowed
Dang.
Sunny to use that connection to get into the military headquarters
Yeah, that's kinda crazy.
and perform the coup.
Okay. Well, that explains how we got into the military and was able to do that presentation. Yeah, this scene is it's just crazy. Just
And
brought Cocoa Puffs
it
into
worked. Everyone hit by Cocoa Puffs instantly loves them. They own the military, their entire economy and legal system runs on Cocoa Puffs. Humans have essentially colonized and taken over all of bird society. They won. So, now that the war is over, I guess the next question is, what happens to Sunny? Well, he's not a prisoner anymore. He's free to live a normal life in a world controlled by humans and eat all the Cocoa Puffs he wants. Except now, unlike all the birds around him, he desperately doesn't want Cocoa Puffs.
You've got to keep Cocoa Puffs away from me! How do I escape the great taste of Cocoa Puffs?
But
Okay.
why? Because more than anyone else, Sonny knows the truth about this world.
Yeah.
He knows all the horrible things humans have done to bird society. The
He's starting to
horrible
break away
things
now.
he has done to betray his country. So, of course, he would try and reject Cocoa Puffs. But the world he lives in literally runs on the cereal. No matter where he goes, he can't escape his addiction. Remember, he even tried to file a restraining order against Cocoa Puffs in a bird court of law, but
crazy.
the judge refused to...
Oh, what?
Wait a second. Why is the judge Sonny's grandpa?
Oh, is that him? I thought that video broke for a second when he paused. Chocolate is thicker than blood? What the heck?
We have over 600 vendors
What does that
worldwide.
mean?
There's a lot on our plate. Way too
I guess
many
we'll find
emails.
out.
Court now in session. I find you guilty of being delicious. Sonny, this is a fancy restaurant.
That is clearly Sonny's grandpa. Even his nameplate says Judge Gramps. Wouldn't that...
I mean, yeah, I would say the only thing that's different would be, you know, I guess the... I mean, what do you call it? Like the feather tone or skin tone? Like it looks a bit more... Like, I guess less saturated here. But I don't know if that's because of the lighting inside the court. But like that also has to apply to everyone else, right? Well, I mean, there's also Judge Gramps, which I feel like, you know, if he would be called that, it would mean that he's related to Sonny here.
be like a major conflict of interest? Like, you can't just be a judge for
But yeah,
your own...
the reason why I brought that up, you know, the whole like the skin tone thing, is because I'm usually like, you know, I guess picky on that, if that's really him or not.
family member's court case, right? And even if we ignore that, isn't Sonny's grandpa supposed to be the one character
Because yeah,
who's
I do
actually
prefer
on his side?
I do like consistency and stuff.
Cuckoo, I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room. Cocoa Puffs? Don't go Cuckoo.
Because it could be like a different
Why
character.
does he rule against Sonny
But
when
no,
he's
it could be
the
that this
only one who's been
that
trying
place
to
in the
help
court is
him beat his
just less
addiction?
saturated.
Maybe we need to take a closer look at Sonny's grandpa. In one of the commercials, we see Gramps trying to help Sonny by hiding the Cocoa Puffs.
I'm gonna hide Cocoa Puffs in this room. Gramps? I'm not hiding Cocoa Puffs.
But immediately after, he says this.
I'm not Cocoa. Don't open that door then. Cause there's munchy, crunchy, chocolatey
Jeez.
Cocoa Puffs in there.
Look at him, he's clearly trying to tempt Sonny
Yeah.
into getting the Cocoa Puffs. He even uses Sonny's exact trigger words and has a nefarious smile.
There's munchy, crunchy, chocolatey Cocoa Puffs in there.
Gramps doesn't want Sonny to beat his addiction. He just wants Sonny to think that he's on his side, but in reality, Gramps is manipulating him. But
Yeah, I'm guessing he's working for the humans. He's got to be, right? Like, he was probably the one to, like, put Sonny in that situation. Or, like, you know, have him, like, be an experiment. He's probably the reason why.
why? Because
Like when he was
I
a baby.
think Sonny's grandpa is working for the humans.
Yeah.
Sonny is the mascot for Cocoa Puffs, and if humans are going to continue to use Cocoa
Oh,
Puffs...
snap. You think that's why he's rich? Because, yeah, it looks like I said before, like, the family... Well, no, I guess... No. I mean, like, if we look on the walls, if that's, like, the entire family... I need to see that again. I'm guessing he did not get rich off the experiment, maybe. I would need to see how they're dressed again. Let's see, where am I at right now? Like, 2106? But yeah, I would need to see the other family members. I can maybe see him being rich because, you know... Ooh. Well, no, this is probably taken, like, after. Because, you know, they probably got possessed by the Cocoa Puffs. But I can see, like, if they had the military, maybe they could be somewhat rich. Like, outside of the Cocoa Puffs, if he did, like, agree to have Sonny.
Gramps doesn't want Sonny to beat his addiction. He just wants Sonny to think that he's on his side, but in reality, Gramps is manipulating him. But why? Because I think Sonny's grandpa is working for the humans.
Yeah.
Sunny is the mascot for Cocoa Puffs, and if humans are going to continue to use Cocoa Puffs to control bird society, then they can't have the mascot on the box actively trying to avoid and discredit the cereal.
You've got to keep Cocoa Puffs away from me. It turns everything chocolatey, and they make me go cuckoo.
So, they use someone close and trusted to Sunny, like his grandpa, to manipulate him into never breaking free of his addiction.
Well, they're munchy and crunchy.
Yeah, I feel like
Just look at Gramps' life. He's got a big house, he eats at fancy restaurants,
yeah, you probably
and he's
got
a
it from
powerful judge who can
the humans.
seemingly break whatever rules he wants.
Like a bunch of money.
Gramps is thriving in this human.
The thing is, I just thought maybe he would still be rich before he got involved with the humans, just because, looking at his status over here with this guy, if he is related. But yeah, that's just what I thought.
Controlled bird society, and I think it's because he made a deal with the humans to
Yeah.
betray his own grandson. And once
Yeah.
again, Gramps profiting off of
That's what I
Sunny
thought.
has been foreshadowed since the very first commercials.
Oil, we're rich.
How you gonna get it up, Gramps?
Oh my gosh.
Sonny can't resist Cocoa Puffs. Here, Sonny.
Yahoo! I'm Cocoa Puffs!
Gramps, Sunny's only parental figure,
Okay.
has always been working against him.
Yeah.
But that brings up something else that I've always wondered about.
Even
Why
using him for, like,
is Gramps Sunny's only
oil.
parental figure? Where are Sunny's parents? Like, even if Sunny was a brood parasite inserted into this family, he'd still have parents before grandparents, right? It feels like someone's missing. This may seem like a pointless question to ask for how little backstory we're given about these characters, but there is actually a single insane hidden detail in one of these commercials that unlocks one final damning part to this theory. Remember those family photos that had the military guy in them? If you look
Yeah.
closely, the hallway is full of different bird people, all with boxes of Cocoa Puffs, except for one photo that shows a female bird all by herself. And it's the only photo with no Cocoa Puffs. It's a really
Interesting.
weird detail to include. But what's even stranger is that when Sunny is about to open the door to release the Cocoa Puffs, the photo changes to show the woman
Whoa.
is afraid for Sunny. Sure,
What the
maybe
heck?
this was just supposed to be
That's-
a cartoony way to emphasize the danger, but
Dang.
then why?
But yeah, I'm guessing that's the mother. But dang, that's kind of crazy. Like, she knows maybe the truth. But then, like, the Gramps, like, he's just greedy, man. Like, I'm not sure what happened to her, but I'm guessing the grandpa, like, I don't know, probably did something to her if she's not really seen anywhere else.
Why is she the only photo that changes? The
That's
birds
crazy.
in the photo right next
That's
to
a
her are completely indifferent to
interesting
Sunny's
small
struggle.
detail.
This feels like the animators are intentionally
Yeah.
trying to tell us something about specifically this female bird that we've never seen before.
It's probably the mother.
And trust me, I've checked.
Trying to
She
protect
doesn't
her
show up in
child,
the
but then
background
Gramps
of
got
any of the other
greedy.
commercials. So here is the final part of my theory. I think this is Sunny's mother.
Yeah.
Maybe his real mother, or maybe his adopted mother from the whole brood parasite thing. Just like Sunny, she was clearly aware of the dangers of Cocoa Puffs and wanted to avoid them. But unlike everyone else, why don't we see her in any of these commercials? I think
she's
it's
gone.
because she tried to protect her son from the dangers of
Yep.
Cocoa Puffs, and the humans, who needed Sunny for their plans, murdered her because of it.
Yeah.
These Cocoa Puff commercials are not just a bunch of funny little cartoons designed to sell cereal to kids. They are a complex
Yeah, I thought maybe it would be the grandpa, but he said the humans will be the one to deal with the mother.
interconnected story about the horrors of war, addiction, family betrayal, and murder. And if after all of this, you still have the fucking balls to leave a comment saying, "Oh, Alex, I think they're just cereal commercials. You're
Hey,
only
it's the
thinking
cynical
this,"
critic.
then let
That's a
me
cool
ask you
throwback.
this. Why did they decide to make the characters in these commercials birds? Birds can't eat chocolate.
Oh, really? Okay.
Chocolate
I was wondering about that. Because I know with dogs, they can't do it. I just don't know if that's the same thing with other animals. But okay, I'm guessing it's also, like, poisonous to them like dogs. But yeah, I didn't think much about it because maybe, maybe the same thing doesn't apply, but I guess even birds, they can't eat chocolate.
Is poisonous to birds. The
Wait, can you
entire
really do that in
bird
Minecraft?
world is slowly being poisoned
Or was
by
that
Cocoa
just a
Puffs
punch?
so that humans are the only dominant species on this planet. Or maybe they're just cereal commercials, I don't know.
Oh, that was it? A fan theory by Alex Bale. Okay. I like that. I think that was really
Hello!
cool.
Thank you for watching. I got a lot more of these stupid, very in-depth, over-the-top fan theories coming out this year, so subscribe to catch those. Or check out the theories I've already made, because there's some good ones in there. I'd like to give
Wait,
a
maybe
shout
one
out.
day I'll watch the Avatar one if I ever get around to watching that show. Yeah, the reason why I skipped out on that is because I haven't really watched much of it. I've only watched like the first 5 episodes. And I guess you can say the same thing with Cocoa Puffs, because I've only watched them for the commercials and never really thought about them when it comes to the lore and stuff. But I thought it would be fun watching this because I don't think it's supposed to be you're supposed to know much about the lore. They're just in the end just commercial for cereal.
To Mr. Nightmind. He recently made a nearly 3-hour long deep dive into my ARG web
Dang.
series Don't Feed the Muse.
But yeah, I am aware of the stuff like the Happy Meat Farms and stuff. I've seen like videos of those like way before I began reacting to Alex Bale on his channel. Maybe one day I'll look back into it because I feel like it's been one of those things where it's been like a long time since I last seen this ARG, and that it might feel new to me because of that.
Which is also connected to Happy Meat Farms and a bunch of other channels across the
But yeah,
internet.
Cynical Critic is
If you
one of
don't
them
know
too.
what the hell I'm talking about, or even what an ARG is, then I'd highly recommend watching his video. He makes my massive, complicated puzzle
Dang, 3
project
hours.
much more accessible and easy to follow, and he even does his own fan theory about what it all means.
What if I told you Alex Bale has been playing 4D chess all along, and every element of this has been calculated to astonishing dedicated degrees?
Dang.
So I highly recommend that. It is a great
It kind of gives me like the same energy as like the Theorizer
video. Thank you, Mr. Nightmind.
with that voice.
Thank you to the patrons who help support this channel. You can watch my
he
videos
sounds
early
like
and get your name at the end by signing up.
a
That's
narrator
all I got.
from like a
That's the end of the video. Bye. Go away.
from like a documentary. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just wondering if he'll show something surprising at the end. But yeah, he didn't really I thought he would maybe talk about like the. Well, yeah, let me just play this here. I thought he would talk about his other theories coming up. I thought next up would be the what was it called? I know there was like High School Musical as well, right? I think that was also coming up. I didn't realize there would be a Cocoa Puffs coming up next here. But yeah, I think that's pretty much my reaction to the Cocoa Puffs conspiracy theory by Alex Bale. Yeah, I liked this one. At first, like I said, like I've only seen them as commercials. I did not think much about them. Like the only thing that I can think of that could be a theory is like, why is he Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? But no, he went even more like deeper down than that, like into the lore of the world, of the bird world over here, and also with how the humans are involved as well, with like him being like a baby. But yeah, Gramps probably was the one to put Sonny in that situation when he was a baby, being experimented on, and then be placed back into the bird society as a sleeper agent. And then when that meteor happens, is when I'm guessing is when the birds were first exposed to the Cocoa Puffs. And man, I guess that makes sense now. Unlike how long does it take for Sonny to be to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Because yeah, 4 seconds is all it takes just for the birds to be controlled by it. Dang, like they wanted to be done fast, like extremely fast. The humans just taking over the birds' minds. Dang. But yeah, I think this is really cool. I think also from a lore perspective, if this is all intentional, I think that's such a cool lore. I feel like I think it is intentional. In my opinion, I think it's intentional. The only thing I can maybe see that is not intentional would be like maybe the murder of the mother, just because I feel like that might be way too dark. I can maybe see everything else being like, you know, canon. I just feel like if one day like whoever the company who made Cocoa Puffs, if they were ever to like release the official lore, I feel like they would try to present that in a, you know, a PG way, a kid-friendly way. um but yeah, I do think, you know, in a way they've kind of dealt with the mother where she can't do anything to protect the son. But yeah, really cool, very interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much my reaction to the Cocoa Puffs conspiracy. Yeah, really cool video to, you know, watch from Alex Bale once again. Freaking love his theories, man. But yeah, and now, yeah, that's my reaction. And now I turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think of the Cocoa Puffs conspiracy by Alex Bale? Do you like it or dislike it? Love or hate it? Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, this one was a really good theory. I feel like it's one of those theories where, you know, sometimes, you know, theories can be sometimes complicated. I feel like this one can be understood easily by just anyone. You know, this could be like a first video that you can show someone else for like an Alex Bale video. But yeah, I think this is a really good video and very digestible and easy to understand as well. Even I was able to, like, you know, predict what Alex Bale might bring up. You know, it also just makes you feel smarter in that aspect too. Anyway guys, yeah, that'll be it for now. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good